Hi, I'm John Griesbach with Diamond H2O. Today we're going to go through the programming of your Patriot series water softener. Today we're going to be doing the programming on the twin 2-inch Patriot. First things first, identify your manual, find your quick reference guide. You can start on either your A or B unit. Programming on both is going to be almost identical. Only differences is one's going to be labeled A, one's going to be B. I'm going to put the cover here to show you. You've got a next button, an up arrow, a down arrow, and a regen button. Those buttons are also labeled on the board. Next, up, down, and regen. What you're going to start with is start by pressing your next and down simultaneously and holding them in. It's going to say set softening on the display. When you see set softening, press and hold the next and down again. The display is going to now change to a number. In this case, from the factory, it says 2.0. What 2.0 means is it's a 2-inch valve. If you have a 1.5-inch valve, a 1.25-inch valve, or a 1-inch valve, the number should correlate to the size plumbing that you have. In this case, it's 2-inch, so it is 2.0. To advance to the next step, just hit the next button. When you hit next, it goes FL 2.0. This stands for the size of your flow meter. In this case, we are using a 2-inch flow meter. Therefore, the FL 2.0 is correct. Now, if you needed to change any of these numbers, all you're going to do is hit either the up or the down button. So, for example, if I hit the up arrow, it goes to 3.0. If I hit it again, it goes to 1.0 R. Up again, FL-PUL for pulses. FL 1.5, and now we're back to 2.0. Again, using the up and down arrows, it's very simple. Most of this should be programmed for you by the factory. So doing this on site should not be necessary to change a lot of this. However, having the ability to do so is important. And also just checking it's important. So we'll hit the next button. It goes to DP off. This is your pressure differential switch. If you wanted to utilize this for lockouts, or if you had a pressure differential switch that you wanted to initiate regeneration, this is where you'd program it. In this case, we are not doing that. That is not a standard component that is used on a water softener. Next step, it says Alt-A. This is where you choose whether it's an A or a B unit. Okay? If by accident your plumber takes this MAV, which is A on this side, B on this side, and they accidentally plumb it in backwards. All right, B on this side, A on the side, but your system's already plumbed in. These are already programmed A and B, and it's in backwards. What you can do is, rather than unplumbing things and changing things around, is all you have to do is change your programming from A to B and B to A, and then just move your wires and make sure your wires are all on your A unit from your meter and from your MAV. In this case, we don't have that problem, so our A unit is the A unit. The A port is going to the A unit. It says Alt-A. That is correct. So we're going to hit next. On a 2-inch valve, it says pre, and it says 10 minutes. And then it also says rinse. This is a pre-rinse that when your softener, before it comes online, after the other softener calls for regeneration, it's going to rinse for 10 minutes or whatever you program. This is due to, if a system sits for a long time, to prevent regenerate heel having maybe hard water come after regeneration, or even having some salty water after a system is sat for a long period of time after regeneration. Typically, this is something that's not necessary on smaller units. On larger units, you may want to put a pre-rinse on. Pre-rinses typically don't have to be extensive. In this case, I'm just going to turn it off. Hit next, and we're back to the time of day. What we're going to do after this is we're going to press and hold next and down again. We're going to get to where it says set softening. We're going to hit next. It says set regen DN rinse. This is ultimately telling us how the brining is going to happen. It's going to be a downflow. Hit next, and we go to POST. That is post, for post fill. We're going to fill the brine tank after regeneration, not before. Next step goes to 1 and 10, and it says backwash. This is your backwash time, and we want a 10-minute backwash, so we hit next. It's going to say 2 DN60. This is your brine draw slow rinse. It's going to be your second cycle. It's going to be downflow, and it's for 60 minutes. After that, we hit next. Cycle 3, this is your second backwash. Right now it's just set for 4. This is just to redistribute the bed. Hit next. Cycle 4, which is fast rinse. This is ultimately service flow to the drain. We've got it set for 8 minutes. This is also, as a side note, this is also a great place if you want to verify that your regenerations are working and that you're getting soft water. Put it into fast rinse and check your hardness to your drain. It should be soft. Hit next. This is our refill, which is cycle 5, and right now it's set for 15 minutes. This is something that is going to be based on the size of the unit, the size of the valve, and so don't take 15 minutes as the number that you need to be using on your valve. The other numbers you can use for the backwash, brine draw, the second backwash, and the fast rinse. However, your fill time is going to vary depending on the size system that you have. Also varies depending on your refill flow control. That's why you need to make sure you verify that number, either based on your startup sheet, in your manual, or you can always reach out and contact Diamond H2O via our website at diamondh2o.com or at 800-236-8931. Moving on, we're going to hit next, and we go to our capacity. This is our capacity times 1,000. So this is ultimately our grains capacity. Again, based on the size of your system, that's where you're going to find this number. Should come preset from the factory. Something you shouldn't have to change. However, it is totally adjustable. Hit next. It says auto. So ultimately this is where we select how it's going to regenerate or how it's going to calculate. It's automatically going to calculate based on our hardness and our capacities that we program. Next thing, it says on 0. This is when we choose how we want it to regenerate or when we want it to regenerate. This is ultimately we can select, if we want it to regenerate on a delay at 2 a.m. or any time of day that we choose, or we select on 0, which means as soon as this system hits 0, this one should come online, and vice versa. Next, it says relay off. There's a relay driver on these boards that it can be utilized to fire chemical feed pumps, alarms, a lot of different applications for it. Typical application is that relay is going to be off. Now we're back to our time of day. Last item we're going to program is going to be our installer display. So we're going to press and hold the next and the up arrow. On the display, it's going to say set hardness. As a default, we set 15 grains of hardness for water softeners. That's what you're seeing here. To change it, up or down. Oh, I just hit the next button. If you accidentally hit the next button like I just did, to go back, just hit the regeneration button once. That'll allow you to go back. So you either hit the up or the down button, get to the hardness that you want or that you're testing at your raw water. That's what you program in there. Again, that's critical due to the fact that it's going to utilize the hardness and your capacity to calculate how many gallons between regenerations. Hit next. This goes to your day override. If you go down, it's 28 days. Up, it's off. Ultimately, the day override is a feature that you can select if you want the system to go off based on days, not just the meter. If you have a meter, it's going to reference both. If you don't have a meter, then it's only based on your day override. Hit next, and again, we're going to verify that it's regenerating on 0, not based on delay or time of day. If it is on a delay or time of day, you can change it in this window. Hit next, and you're back to your home screen. When you're on your home screen, a couple things you can view. One is your time of day. 2, as you see here, it says capacity remaining. What that capacity remaining is until regeneration. So based on the 15 grains of hardness that we programmed and the 250,000 grains of capacity, we have 16,666 gallons between regenerations. We'll hit next. Takes us to 0.0 gallons per minute. This is where it shows you your gallons per minute, so you can hit next through the basic displays and see what you're flowing at any given time. Hit next, and this, it says 0 gallons. This is your totalizer feature. So this is where you would go to see how many gallons have gone through this particular unit since a reset. Hit next again, and we're back to our time of day. So that's programming on valve A. Now all you do is you repeat that process on valve B. The only difference, following your guide here, is one is A and one is B. Okay? That's the only difference between these two units, is this one's programmed as valve A and this one's programmed as valve B. If there's any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at diamondh2o.com, or you can always contact us via phone at 920-757-5440. Thank you.